Hi there, my name's Ray. This is my 2016 Scion FR-S. Today I'm going to be breaking down a few things that I've done to the car, how I've used it throughout the years, and why I like it so much and I choose it to be my sports car. Suspension wise, I have BC Racing DS coilovers. Wonder if I can get it with this camera here. I have BC Racing DS coilovers. Overall, very good to me. I have AK springs on it, kind of on the stiffer side for daily driving, but overall it's worked. I just kind of messed with the dampening that you can do. When it comes to exhaust, I have a HKS catback exhaust. So far that's the only exhaust piece I have. It allows me to get a little bit of noise out of it and enjoy driving it, you know, out in the mountains. When you're on track you can hear the engine a little more, but overall it's not too loud that it's not unbearable and stuff. For wheels I have NKJ10 wheels. They've done me well. They're 18-inch wheels, so overall that's really nice. A little bit better in style because they're bigger. They're the 225/40 R19s, so a little bigger than stock, not too big, but gives me more grip when I need it. And overall, still, it makes the car a very fun machine to drive. I have Zestino tires on the car. The Zestino tires have done me well. They're very grippy. They're kind of like semi-slick tires, I guess, and not the best in the rain, that I did notice, but they're good. The 2016 FR-S changed out the badges to Toyota badges. I really liked the GT86 overall as an idea when the car first came out, so added that to this. And I also got these monogram headlights off of a friend, a little old now, but overall they make the car look good. They have the LED running strip, which I really like, and it only was available over here on special editions, and so it was kind of rare, kind of hard to get, but happy I got them. Also have these fog lights. I forget the brand, but probably like FT Speed back in the day, just like halogen lights. And then I also have these daytime running light turn signal switchback lights. So in the daytime they're white, and when you're turning they turn into like amber, so that way you still have a turn signal, you don't lose that functionality. I also added these Subaru BRZ STI spats. They were available for special edition BRZs, and so I just kind of ordered them online, got it, put it on. I just thought it was funny that I could have a BRZ part on my Scion FR-S that has Toyota badges. Pretty fun. And then at one point, some parts that aren't on the car anymore, just because you could say life kind of got to it. I had TRD side skirts, the 86 ones, the newer generation, and they looked really nice. On the other side I ended up like driving on a curb ever so slightly, but because the car's already lowered and the skirts go even lower, it just broke, and I just decided to take them off until I can replace them. I did have a front lip back on in the day. That's kind of why this is the way it is there. Ready Gracer front lip there. It looked pretty cool, but I hit something on the road and it basically split it in half, which is unfortunate, so again, had to take it off. Having a lowered car is cool, but when you're daily driving, you know, when you're going everywhere, whether it's going up driveways or you have to dodge something on the road and you can't, you got to go over it, that's gonna affect the front lip. Or, you know, sometimes in a tight parking lot where it's just really tight, you're gonna stuff happens, you know. So for the most part, power wise, again, I haven't done anything, it's just stock. I did add that parent intake, got it off a friend, very nice of them. They helped install it for me too, which is cool. Got to learn how the bumper comes off and stuff. And then I also had this Jackson Racing radiator oil cooler installed. So it's like a bigger radiator and it has an oil cooler, which is really nice. And always use the Toyota or Subaru oil filters. For oil, I have been running Pennzoil's 5W30 basically for the life of the car, so works very well. Got the car at about 15,000 miles, have 97,000 miles now, and the car has been driven through multiple track days, you know, driven through a lot of beautiful California canyons and just daily driven. Another thing I did was get the clutch upgraded due to drifting. I ended up going through the clutch relatively quick, you could say. So at around 60-ish thousand miles, I got an ACT street clutch. I did basically accidentally get a lightweight flywheel as well, which allows the car to rev more freely. Overall, just makes idling a little more tougher. And so the car would idle and stall very often, and that created an issue there where I would have to constantly turn the car back on when it was just at a neutral idle. And one thing I found that fixed it was getting an AGM battery. The AGM batteries are more powerful, I guess, and so it helps the car stay idling when the RPMs are lower. So if you have a lightweight flywheel and you're having that issue, I found that the AGM style batteries help. I do have, again, the BC Racing coilovers here. This is where you adjust it for dampening, which I will actually in a moment be stiffening it up a little bit more by 2 clicks. Now that I'm up here in the canyons, I have it a little bit on the softer side right now because that's how I do it for daily driving and freeways, streets, all that kind of stuff. But when I'm up in the mountains, canyons, wherever it might be, or the racetrack, I like to stiffen it a little bit more. It makes the car feel more direct, precise. Now the next thing I want to talk about is all the driving I've done with it. Honestly, this car, as much as it is a car you can put parts on, it's more of a car you just take and drive, right? So I really love that about the car. So just kind of go through a few of them. Driven Streets of Willow with it, driven Big Willow at Willow Springs, also did drifting at Balcony, which the open skid pad at Balcony was really nice. That one allowed me to really have a lot of room to learn how to drifting around cones, stuff like that, and just learning how to do entries at a higher speed, you could say. So overall, driving at higher speeds, doing drift entries was fun there. Nothing you can really hit. Kind of like this open area here, but obviously way bigger and closed course, you could say. So I also drifted at the Willow Springs Oval, which is nice. That one eats up your tires, but that one's also cool because it's all just like medium to higher speed, long sweeper drifts. So very good experience there. I did time attack at Chuck Walla with some friends. That was really cool. Really big track. Probably one of the nicer tracks I've been to so far. It was really nice. And one of the main tracks I've drifted at most of the time when I've gone back in the day was Apple Valley Speedway. That one is amazing. Overall, it's a little go-kart track, you could say, that back in the day they used in the desert of Apple Valley. That became this drift track that people from all over come and drive, and it's a really iconic place. I like going there. And I've also done time attack at Adams Motorsports Park, which is kind of small, but it's a nice place that's closer to the LAOC area, which allows you to kind of just get out there. Alongside being able to modify a car, drive a car, this car, thanks to this machine, I've been able to be a part of so many different things. I was also able to work with Slide Factory, a local drift organization, and helped host the events. Eventually I actually became the owner of it, ran a few events there. That was awesome. How you're gonna get into the track. We're gonna cover what we'll be looking for when we tech inspect your car. Eventually I actually became the owner of it, ran a few events there. That was awesome. Don't do that anymore, but it was an experience I got to have thanks to this car, honestly. It allowed me to just be out there, gave me a reason to never stop going to it, and it was a good time. One of my favorite memories from that and Apple Valley Speedway was when it used to be Grange Motor Circuit, and the ownership changed to Calvin. When the ownership changed, and it was renamed to Apple Valley Speedway, they eventually repaved the whole track and made that go-kart track wider and made it more accessible, more usable by drifters with full-size cars. And that first event, they had the organizers come, they had their sponsors come, like TJ Hunt came as well. They had pro drivers come, like Ken Gucci, and it was cool. I got to meet some of them. And then favorite moment, honestly, still today, is I was able to drift on that track by myself, because I'm not really that advanced, more of like on the beginner level. And I was able to drift on that track the same time while these other pro drifters and drivers were going. and they were doing tandems like 5 cars deep, 4 cars deep, and it was cool. I was like behind them, still, you know, kind of learning, hitting 1 to 2 turns at a time and trying to keep my tires spinning because I have a stockish car. And then, you know, but being on the track and seeing those other drivers in front of me like doing it in real life, real time, really was a unique experience and really inspiring. You know, it makes me want to just keep going. So a little bit about me. The other sports car I've owned in my life has been a Mazda Miata, 1991, the NA Miata. It was really cool. It was a good time. 1.6 liter engine, so slower than all the other cars I've ever owned, and still one of the most fun cars. Overall, you just have a blast driving it due to the fact that it weighs nothing. It doesn't have a roof, and just to drive it at highway speeds, if not faster, it feels like you're going insanely fast. So I love that car, great time. But now I have this 2016 FR-S. I chose this over that because, one, reliability, it's newer. It already has like Bluetooth and all that in it, you could say, and that, you know, it's pretty big. If you're gonna drive it every day, to have music just link up instead of trying to use like an FM transmitter or overall just bringing a speaker. So, because it's an older car, there's things I could have done to make it better and keep it, but I like the fact that this is bigger. You know, I've actually fit 4 people in here before in the past. Gone not too far, but you know, I fit 4 people in here. It's spacious. You put the rear seats down, you have a lot of room. You know, you can fit bigger things in there. So it's a good car overall to own, as if you can only own one car. But obviously the main thing to have it for is being out here, mountain roads, canyon roads, really just enjoying the dynamics of the car, you know. So my specific car, it's pretty close to stock. There's a few things I've done to it. I've done BC racing coilovers, which in general, drifting, great. Track use, great. Normal driving on the roads and even canyon roads, it's a little on the bumpier side, but honestly, that's how sports cars, race cars are. Mine's not a race car, right? But at the same time, for it to handle good and be even better than stock form, you kind of have to deal with that. Granted, I think there are more expensive coilovers you could probably get that will allow you to have a premium driving experience while having more performance. So great, you know, if you can get those, great. I haven't been able to yet, so maybe one day. Happy with what I got right now. I didn't mention this earlier. I also upgraded the brakes. I have R1 concept brakes, so the rotors are upgraded to drilled and slotted. The brake pads, I believe, are their sport model, which is good for track use, but it's more intended for like high performance street use, you could say. I've used it on track, it's great. I mean, I'm not like a endurance racer, so I'm not out there for like 10 plus laps. I really do like 4-ish, 6. The FR-S is a great car for getting out there and driving. Concept, you might hear it all over, and that's why the GR86 is great. That's why the Miata is great. That's why at a higher price point, but the Type R is great, right? And I think the value behind that is really important. I've owned this car since 2018, so it's about 8 years now. It's been about 8 years now that I've owned the car, and the experiences I've had by just owning this car and going to racetrack events, going to car meets that are for the car or for a specific kind of car that I feel like I should go with my car, it gave me so many great experiences. I met so many different people. I've been a part of Slide Factory, which is a great drift organization. That was awesome. I got to meet pro drivers, and all that probably would have never happened if I just had a regular commuter car and just didn't, you know, partake in anything. And I love this hobby, I love the sport, so I'm happy that I got to, you know, do all this stuff and just be a part of it. Driving is so cool, whether it's automatic, stick shift, whatever it might be. There's so much ways to have fun, and it's never ending, you know. Like, there's all these canyon roads, they're beautiful. There's all these tracks, they're awesome. There's all these car people all over, and new cars coming out, and car events. And if you're driving, you'll start to really appreciate it all, you know. And that's why I think driving's awesome. So get out and drive if you can, because you should. You owe it to yourself, you know. I'll see you next time.